Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us on Channel 347. We all know that the area in Cape Town called Salt River is rich in so much history, so much culture. So I thought let's invite the Salt River Heritage Society into studio and find out a bit more about, they have a mission to collate and record the heritage, histories and especially traditions of the Salt River community to benefit our Cape Town, local Cape Townians, but also people that are visiting the Salt River area as well. In studio, I'd first like to welcome the chairperson of Salt River Heritage Society, Brother Lufti Omar. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for having us, Luqmaan.
My absolute pleasure. And then also the deputy chairperson who normally does all the work, Sister Nadia Ahedin. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam to you too.
My absolute pleasure having you guys in studio. We all drive through Salt River all the time, for those of us that don't live there, and we notice the beautiful history, the culture. What inspired your community, your organization to build the Salt River Heritage Society? And what is some of your aims and missions by doing this?
So what inspired me particularly is the stories that my dad used to tell us.
Yeah.
He told us about sport.
Right.
He tells us about, some of the issues in the area, the mosques, the origin of the mosque and so on, and how my grandfather also was instrumental in establishing these kind of institutions. So it's this rich oral history tradition that we have in Salt River, that we hear the stories from our grandfathers and our grandmothers that inspired us to start this heritage society. But it was also seeing, with development taking place in the area that you seeing there's no more this kind of building that you used to see often,
right?
So it's kind of this gentrification happening in the area. This was also, the Heritage Society was also a response to gentrification in the area, because we were seeing that it's eroding our culture and our heritage, and that is why it was important for us to start the
Are there specific landmarks that hold a bit of heritage memory in the area?
Well, recently it's the community Salt River community market and the Salt River Railway Institute, or the whole Salt River.
Okay, so that's been registered as a monument in the Monumental Council.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So not yet. We are trying to get it registered as a heritage building.
Right.
So we're working on that. As a heritage.
So for those that don't know too much about the Salt River area, give us some of the wonderful history that has happened, and how many years is this spanning over?
Wow. So one of our programs is called the People's History Timeline.
Okay.
So this is where we map the history of Salt River.
Okay.
And every year on Heritage Day, people would map, they would come with their milestones and put this onto the timeline. And from that, we then draw important events and places, which we then transform into our murals.
Okay.
So then, it becomes art, but it's become art that's relevant to the people, and they can relate to what's happening.
We're looking at some of the murals. That's the world famous one at the moment, and it's on your T-shirt.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
So solidarity is an important part of our heritage. We find that solidarity is the highest form of humanity, and this is in our culture. We during Ramadan we share. People, kids taking the cookies around to different houses. Other traditions as well. Eid, and so we also a multi-faith community. So on Christmas people do share this stuff, and then. We used to have Christmas bands, and then the Salvation Army marching.
Yeah. Nice.
Ash Wednesday, people would march through the streets.
So it's inclusive.
Yes, so it's a very inclusive kind of community. Yes.
Right. Sister Nadia, what are some of the events that you've already had in the area to highlight these wonderful works?
So for the murals, we as Lutfi said, that every Heritage Day we unveil 2 or 3 or 4 murals. Last year, we unveiled the Dome of the Rock, which is part of the Palestinian timeline, or the Palestinian roadmap that we have on the corner of Chapel and Addison Road.
Okay.
And we that was the one, and then the other one that we unveiled was the Black Christ.
Okay.
And the third one was the, we call it the Feminine Freedom Fighters Wall.
Okay.
So we have 4 women that played significant roles in society. The one is a poet, the one was an investigative journalist, the one wrote the Children's Charter, and the one was a trade unionist.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The amount of rich history and just people that should be celebrated.
Correct.
And I think this is an idea that other communities can also embrace as well, Brother Lutfi.
Yes, so what we want is that other communities must also do this, celebrate local people in their communities, so that history is not a kind of Jan van Riebeeck or, but it's local people that needs to be celebrated, that made a huge contribution to their communities.
Wow.
Yes.
So one of the reasons I also invited you guys in, because I know that you received a very special award recently as well. Tell us about that award.
So the Department of Culture and Sports, they have a cultural awards evening every year, and the category we won, it's a long name, so I have to read it off. So it's a contribution by a conservation body, heritage organization, or museums towards the promotion of local history, heritage, or renaming of geographical features. So that's the award that we won.
Congratulations.
Yes,
you must be so proud, because look, you're not doing this for awards, I would imagine, but it's so nice to be acknowledged and knowing that you are steering in the right direction.
Exactly. And also we are a volunteer organization, nobody gets paid, and we're doing this out of the love for our community.
But there are opportunities, Sister Nadia. I would imagine that this can be monetized, where somebody that's looking for work or trying to start up a very innovative idea can benefit from this.
Absolutely. So what we're also looking for is, I'm a registered tour guide, so I take guests around the area, and we charge, for to be taken around the area to have a look at the murals. We have the Salt River Heritage Society has about 11 murals that we have done ourselves and paid our artists. And then we have the Palestinian walls that we have about 5. So definitely at the moment it's myself that does the tours and Anwar Omar. But we are looking for younger guides to be able to inshallah, yes, to be able to take up tours and do tours around the area.
Right. What's in store for your organization? What can we look forward to? What can we see on social media? Where do we go to on social media?
New murals.
Okay.
So we're looking at probably 2 or 3 more new murals to be unveiled probably around Heritage Day.
Perfect.
So on 24th September, this is the day that we unveil our kind of murals.
Stunning.
And we use art as a medium of memory and heritage. So the latest mural that we're working on is called the International Solidarity Mural.
Okay.
So we're looking at celebrating a local person in Salt River that fought in the Cuban Revolution.
Wow.
The only African that fought in the Cuban Revolution.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yes.
So this is international solidarity.
Stunning.
And he fought in the Cuta Carnaval battle, in Angola. So we're celebrating Angola, Namibia, South Africa, and Palestine. So this will come together in the International Solidarity Mural.
There must have been so many logistical meetings around everything that you do. And I would imagine there's an input from a range of people. What advice do you have for other communities on how to go about starting their own organization in whatever suburb they live? It doesn't have to be in Cape Town. It can be anywhere in South Africa.
Yes, I mean, because we have a history now, we can advise others how to quickly form their community organizations. But what is important is that you need to have community participation. And it's through this participation and the exchange of ideas that you will have a beautiful program. And you will find that every day you learn new things. I mean, we never knew about the Black Christ. Ronald Herbold, he painted this Black Christ in the name of Albert Lutuli with the Romans as Verwoester and Verwoed. So that's one example. Then this guy that fought in the Cuban Revolution.
For sure.
And there are many others. I mean, Siraj Desai is from Salt River.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then we had Desiree Ellis, Banyana
Legends.
Yes, and she's from Salt River.
No way.
So lots of other people. And if you look in your community, you will find people that did the same.
So Salt River is not only known for the best fish and chips in Cape Town, but also the lovely murals and the wonderful people, the community that has come from there as well. Brother Lutfi and Sister Nadia, Jazakallah so much for coming into the studio.
Okay.
Shukr for doing what you do, because I think it, as we head to the polls on Wednesday, just makes us celebrate and appreciate our community, our history, and celebrate those people as well.
Thank you so
Jazakallah
much,
for having us.
My absolute
and
pleasure. Have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
And that's how we end Hilaal Live. We're back tomorrow between 5 and 6 from the Cape Town team, Mohammed Parker, Brother Sohail Brands, and myself, Luqmaan Shadrach. We wish you a lovely evening. Assalamu alaikum.